All right, so today, this is a big lesson. We're gonna go over MyFitnessPal and getting started with logging your food, okay? So first you're gonna go ahead to myfitnesspal.com and you're gonna create an account. Should you upgrade? Well, MyFitnessPal only lets you, on the free version, it only allows you to do your macros in increments of 5%. So if you wanna make it really easy on yourself, I would recommend upgrading. I believe it's $50 for a whole year. Otherwise, you're gonna have to kind of do a little bit of math. So that's gonna be up to you. You can try the free version for a week and decide if you feel like you need to upgrade or not. And it depends on what your macros are and what you were prescribed. So we go ahead and log into MyFitnessPal. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to My Home. And then we're gonna go to Goals, because we need to set our custom macronutrients. We don't wanna use the macros that MyFitnessPal gives us. So we hit edit. And so we're gonna say for today, my allotted carbohydrates, I'm just using a theory here, is that it's 110 grams for my carbs. I'm gonna enter 48 grams for my fat, and protein 140 grams. So see how my protein at 39%, fat is 30%, carbohydrates 31%. You don't have to worry about that. What you need to worry about is that your grams match. So whatever we prescribed and we calculated together on that form, this is how many grams of carbs you should have, how many grams of fat you should have, and how many grams of carbohydrates and protein. So save your changes. And now you can see your daily nutritional goals. One thing I want to tell you right out of the gate, do not log your exercise, because MyFitnessPal will automatically give you more food. So say if you said that you did the bike for half an hour, it's going to give you extra calories to account for that. When we calculated your macro profile, we already accounted for energy expenditure. So do not log your exercise in the app. If you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit that's connected, you're gonna wanna shut that off, because it's gonna confuse you when it gives you more food, and then you're not gonna know where you are. But I want you to memorize your 3 macros. I know that I have 110 carbs, 48 fat, and 140 protein every single day, okay? So now let's go ahead and start logging. So we're gonna go over to food. Now remember, you can do this on your phone too. I like to set it up on my computer the first time and then get familiar with the phone. So go ahead and click on food, and let's go ahead. I'm gonna go to the next day, so it's a blank slate, because I've already logged some for today. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna enter my breakfast, okay? So I'm gonna go to add food. You can see these saved items. These are things that I already have for breakfast usually. So it will save the things that you recently have had and have added to your database, which makes it super easy, because I don't know about you, but there's like usually 5 different things that I would choose for breakfast. So then they're always in there, and I can just move them on over each day. So let's just search oatmeal. So we can see all these oatmeals come up. And I know that I had Kroger, half a cup of oatmeal. So you can see right here, the serving size is half a cup, and it's going under my category of breakfast. I'm gonna add it to my food. And now it's gonna show up that that was 150 calories, was 27 carbs, 3 grams of fat, and 6 grams of protein. Now I always put 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, or actually almond butter, and I use Barney's almond butter. Smooth. And now you can see it says ounces, but I used a tablespoon. So I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, or almond butter actually. I'm gonna add it to my library, or my diary. And now you can see that that was 4 carbs, 8 fat, and 3 grams of protein. Now if I go below, I can see what I have remaining is in green. So I still have 79 carbs, 37 fat, and 131 grams of protein. So I haven't had much protein yet. Mid-morning, after my workout, I always have a whey isolate protein shake. And that's by Optimum Nutrition. There it is. 33 grams is what their serving size is. And I always have 1.5 scoops. Add it to my diary. There we have it. So now I can look down here and I know what I have left for the day. So I go to remaining, 73 carbs left, 35 fat, and 95 grams of protein. So I can see exactly where I'm at, all right? I recommend that you look at these numbers throughout the day when you go to make another choice of what to eat, so you know if I still have 95 grams of protein, well, I better have some protein for lunch. So let's go ahead and add lunch. All right, so I'm gonna go to lunch. I'm gonna add a food. And let's say I went to Panera Bread because I was super busy and I didn't meal prep, and I had the poppy seed strawberry salad. Now, I always get that with extra chicken. So let's go back in there and let's write extra chicken. Strawberry poppy seed, extra chicken. Now, look at this. One bowl, 190 calories. I know that's not right because it was a full. So here's the half. So I'm going to type in full and search again. Here's the full salad, but it doesn't say with extra chicken. So I'm going to keep on looking. Here's the extra chicken that's separate. So if I don't see one that actually has extra chicken, I'll just add it. So you can see some people ordered no chicken, no dressing, but I did the poppy seed full salad. Right here. I had one, and I'm going to add it. Now I'm going to go back to that extra chicken at Panera Bread because I did extra. And I did that to make sure I get my protein. I like to front load my protein in the beginning of the day so that I don't come to 5 or 6 o'clock at night and find out I still have 90 grams of protein, because that's never good. And you don't want to be stuffing your face with protein at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. But if you didn't get it, you need to. So I'm typing in Panera Bread extra chicken serving. Let's see what it says. There it is, extra chicken serving. So I'm going to add that to my diary. Let's see what I have left now. So now I have 37 carbs left, 20 fat, and 41 grams of protein. That's great because I'm done with lunch. So that means at dinner, I'm going to have at least 41 grams of protein, unless I have a snack that has some protein. So let's go ahead and look at one of these. So it says the extra chicken has 2 carbs, which would make sense, 2 fat, which would make sense, and 25 grams of protein. So that looks like a good entry. If this were to say 130 calories, 0 carbs, 0 fat, and 0 protein, it is a bad entry. So you wouldn't want to use that entry. You'd want to hit this button right here and delete it. That easy. So remember, the rule is to log it before you eat it so that you're not surprised and you don't ruin your macros for the day. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and enter dinner now. See how easy this is? Actually, I'm not going to enter dinner. I'm going to enter a snack. So I'm going to enter a Siggy's strawberry yogurt. I know it has some protein in it, which I will need. Siggy strawberry yogurt. There we go. 1. Perfect. It has 13 carbs, 0 fat, and 15 grams of protein. So that's fantastic. So I've had my breakfast, I've had my lunch, I've had a snack, and now it's time to enter dinner. I've got 41 carbs, 32 fat, 31 grams of protein. So I've got quite a bit of fat. That's kind of exciting. So let's see what I can do for dinner. And this is me just going off the fly. Now remember, you can make 3 or 4 meal samples. You can do exactly what I'm doing now and pre-log to hit your macros super tight, print it off, do it another day, and print them off and have 5 or 6 meal plans already done for you. So then you don't even have to think throughout the day. You know what to grab and what to do. All right, dinner. You know what? I'm going to have some salmon since I have so much fat left and I like salmon and I need some protein. So let's do salmon. And probably going to have about 4 ounces. But I might find that I need more or less depending on my protein. So let's see what that looks like first. Okay, so that gives me 10 grams of protein left. So I might have to have a little bit more salmon. So I still have 39 carbs, so that means I can probably have a sweet potato. Let's look at that salmon. Ooh, that's a bad salmon, guys. We're gonna have to delete that because it says it only has 1 gram of fat. And that can be kind of frustrating for you, right? So we're gonna delete that. We know salmon has fat in it. And if you didn't know, now you do. But let's go ahead and add our dinner again. Let's look for a different salmon. And let's look for a check-marked salmon. Because when it has a green check mark, here we go, like these, that means that it's been verified by MyFitnessPal. See, I don't like the one that says 1 fillet. So here's 3 ounces. Let's look at that one. So, but I'm not going to have 3 ounces. So I'm going to change this to 1 ounce. And then I'm going to put my serving size for 4. So then that will give me 4 ounces. So yes, 9 grams of fat, 29 grams of protein, 0 carbs. Now that's accurate. It had a green check mark next to it, which means it's been verified by MyFitnessPal. Because remember, people enter this and can enter their own food, so people can make mistakes. So it's best to choose a verified green check mark item. Okay, so let's see what I have left. I have 23 grams of fat. Oh, I hit my protein right on the head. Didn't I say plus or minus 5 and 2? So that's great. I hit that right on the head. I don't need any more protein. I have lots of carbs and fat. So for me, I'm going to do a sweet potato with real butter because I have lots of fat left. Sweet potato. Type it in. This has a green check mark. I don't like 1 medium. I'd rather do a cup or grams or ounces. Here's ounces. Here's grams. I like the grams. Baked in the scant. Let's see what 100 grams gives me. Obviously, I would weigh it like I'm teaching you guys how in one of the lessons. So let's see how 100 grams weighs out. So you see that I'm adding it, and then I might have to go back and finagle it a little bit. So my sweet potato, it's 21 carbs, 0 fat, 2 grams of protein. Yes, look, I zeroed out that protein. That's awesome. That makes me super happy. And I still have 20 carbs left, okay? So what am I going to do with that fat? Let's add some butter. I could have more sweet potato if I want because I still have 20 carbs. But I think I might do something else. So 1 tablespoon of Kerrygold butter, or better yet, 10 grams of Kerrygold butter. Add it. Let's see where it puts us. Notice I'm always going back to what do I have left. So I'm going to verify that was 0 carbs, 11 fat, 0 protein. So now I have 12 fat left and 20 carbs. Perfect. Let's see what I can do here. What can I do with 12 grams of fat and 20 carbs as a snack? I'm thinking that is a slice of toast with almond butter on it, or peanut butter, whichever you prefer. Remember, try to go with the most natural form. We don't want all those extra sugars or canola oils or high fructose corn syrup. Really, your ingredients for like a nut butter should be basically just the nut. All right, so let's say my Udi's gluten-free bread. You don't have to do gluten-free if you don't have a gluten-free sensitivity. I actually really like this bread. Let's see what it does. Am I gonna have 2 slices or 1? All right, so that took me over in carbs. So let's add my peanut butter or my almond butter, and I might have to do less. I'm gonna have to do less bread. I might have to do 1 slice because my peanut butter is going to have carbs in it. So this is 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to switch it to 1. I'm going to add it to my diary. And look at that, 0. But now I'm over in protein. If I'm going to be over in anything, it's going to be protein, which is going to be good. So let's go back to the bread, and I'm going to edit it. 1 slice. Because you kind of have to play with it at first to figure out what you're going to do, okay? So there it is, my plus or minus 5 or 2. Plus or minus 2 on your fat, plus or minus 5 on your carbs and protein. So that's it. I basically nailed my macros right there. And I got to have 2 snacks. I had my strawberry yogurt midday, and I had my gluten-free bread with my almond butter at night. I had real butter. I had a sweet potato. I had salmon, which is high in fat. So you can see that I completely nailed it. So awesome, 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 awesome. All right, guys, let's move on and talk about a few other things. So my foods, this is where you can search for foods, recipes. You can build a recipe in here, so you can name it, or you can import it. There's like, this is Kelly's protein pancake. Okay, so here's my ingredients that I've made. It's a 1/4 cup of Power protein cakes, and I know that that's Kodiak cakes. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, whey protein, vanilla, almond milk, Greg egg whites, and I have a sugar-free syrup in here. So you can see that it's 270 calories when I enter it. It's 2 grams of fat, it's 28 carbs, and 36 grams of protein. So that's a recipe that I made up all on my own, and I saved it, and I saved the serving size so I can just drag it over anytime I make Kelly's protein pancake, instead of entering every single one of these items. Okay, so that's the gist of using MyFitnessPal, guys. When you're using your phone, there is a little barcode scanner in the top right hand side, so you can always scan anything that has a barcode on it. So say that you have like a protein bar, you can scan that code instead of trying to look for it and enter it. So it's super quick, and it will save it and it will enter it. Makes things super easy. But biggest thing is I want you to go and look at your remainders for the day so that you always know what you have left. So you log it before you eat it. You look at what you have remaining so you know what to work with. So I knew I had to have more fat, so I chose salmon. If I would have chose chicken, I was going to have more fat somewhere else, which is okay. And I had carbs left, so maybe I would have had a little bit of popcorn or something like that. So it's up to you. You can work your numbers like a puzzle and make them work. But remember the 5 and 2 plus or minus rule. And then remember, don't log your exercise. So set it up on your computer and then start using the phone. make sure, sometimes MyFitnessPal will reboot on your phone when it's like your phone has done an upgrade or maybe it's lost internet service and it reconnects. Sometimes it will default back to the original settings. So memorize your numbers. Memorize, like, I had 140 grams of protein, I had 48 fat, and I had 110 carbs. So that if I log in one day and it says I have 150 carbs and 90 protein, I know without a doubt that I need to go back and go to goals and reset my numbers because MyFitnessPal has unfortunately defaulted back to their numbers. So super important, otherwise you'll be confused. Don't log your exercise. Start using your phone once you're more comfortable. And remember, you can make several of these menus. You can just make a couple days. You saw that took me like, what, 7-8 minutes? And then I can print that. And then I really don't even have to log it. I just have to follow it because I know I hit it. So you can make 5 or 6 of these. All right, guys, it's pretty simple. If you have questions, reach out to us, post on the Facebook group, and I'm happy to answer your questions.